Precision in News. In this presentation, I will be analyzing the New York Times article, How Humans Lost Their Tail, and compare it to the scientific report that it is based on, which is titled The Genetic Basis of Tail Loss Evolution in Humans and Apes. The news story, How Humans Lost Their Tails, was written by author Carl Zimmer of the New York Times, pictured here on the right. Zimmer reports the scientific findings of a team of scientists in New York who have claimed to pinpoint the genetic mutation that removed human tails. Zimmer reports that our ancestors did in fact have tails. Human ancestors began as fish and later evolved into primates. Their tails served as different functions. As fish, our ancestors used their tails to swim through the Cambrian seas. On the right is a depiction of the fish we evolved from, which is said to have shoulders, elbows, a neck, and wrist. As primates, tails helped our ancestors balance in the trees while they swung through the jungle. It was determined that tails disappeared in our genealogy approximately 25 million years ago due to the TBXT gene, which inherited a mutation never before seen with 300 genetic letters. It's proposed that this mutation was random, impacting an ape that would go on to successfully reproduce. The group of New York scientists observed the TBXT gene protein sequence of tailed animals, including the manx cat, mice, dogs, and zebrafish. The scientific report presents evidence of tail loss with the TBXT gene mutation by observing the offspring of mice with parents who did and did not express the TBXT gene mutation. It was found that the offspring with parents who did express the gene mutation all had no tail or short tail phenotypes. In addition, it was confirmed that no-tailed and short-tailed mice could not birth a long-tailed mice. This could mean that a random gene mutation could have occurred to an ape's TBXT gene millions of years ago, resulting in the reproduction of tailless individuals, and these particular tailless individuals evolved into humans. The figure here on the right represents a phylogenetic tree of primates, including species with tails and without. The figure also shows the TBXT protein sequence of a hominoid and a non-hominoid. Although the New York Times article and the scientific report presented similar information, there was some information lacking from the New York Times article that could have been excellent additional knowledge for the readers. Overall, Zimmer provides a solid summary of the scientific findings. He accurately describes and pinpoints the existence of tails in human ancestry, the anatomical changes over time, and the scientific findings from Mr. Shao and his colleagues' experiment. In fact, Zimmer interviewed Mr. Shao, the lead scientist on the experiment, to gather additional information. Mr. Shao stated that a bad Uber ride, which injured his caucus, initiated his research on the tailbone. If Zimmer had based his article entirely on the scientific report, it is likely Zimmer could have provided inaccurate information, with the report being lengthy and repetitive. But because Zimmer did extra research, it made for a credible and original article, specifically with the information conducted from his interview with Mr. Shao. Zimmer was able to provide his article what commenced research on the tailbone and his initial discoveries prior to the experiment. Moreover, Zimmer included interview statements made from evolutionary morphologist Gabriel Russo and geneticist Cedric Fichotte. Again, Zimmer's extra investigation made his article nearly more knowledgeable than Mr. Shao's and his colleagues' scientific report. Most of the scientific report just explains the experiment conducted and the results. However, more background information should have been discussed that was relative to the topic, how humans lost their tail. In the scientific report, Mr. Shao talks greatly of an Alu element, which is believed to have introduced tail loss among primates, while Zimmer states it was a random mutation that had caused the matter. It has been proven that the TBXT gene gained a mutation causing tail loss. However, both Zimmer and Mr. Shao question the advantage of a no-tail phenotype, allowing primates to successfully reproduce no-tail individuals.